Hi, my name is Eric with Brunswick Firearms Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the Sig Sauer P320 M17. We will be talking about the trigger length pull, the trigger length, the reset position. We also have a Willard gauge here that will tell us what the trigger weight is of the pull. I do have some snap caps here so we can get some, we can dry fire this firearm safely. But we're going to also go over how to field strip this gun as well for cleaning it. So we got a lot to cover here, so let's go ahead and jump right on in. So this is how it comes. It's a plastic hard case. You can see right here there are two spots where you can, those holes right there, you can actually put a lock on those so you can lock your firearm up in this case, which is really nice. So there are two latches on the front, so let's go ahead and pop them open. And there we go. This is how it comes. Right on top is the manual. The manual goes over a lot of information about the firearm, like how to load it, unload it, firing it, using the safety. It will also have warranty information towards the back of the manual. So hopefully you won't have to use the warranty, but that information is on the back. So let's go ahead and set that to the side. Looks like we have a cable system lock. I'll show you how to use that. I've got one already open that's not in the pack, so I'll show you how to use that here shortly. Let's go ahead and check our firearm, make sure we are safe. You can see that the safety flag is in the chamber showing that it is unloaded. We're still going to visually inspect this, so let's go ahead and open her up, pull that flag out, set it to the side, and we are clear there. Magazine is empty, so we are good to go. So right off the bat, the first thing that I noticed, this gun is fairly easy to rack. It's got front serrations here and rear serrations here, which really help you grab that slide either from the front or the back. It is fairly easy to rack this gun. Also, this firearm is completely ambidextrous. There is a slide release on both sides, you can see here, as well as here. And the safety is also on both sides. The mag release, which is currently on the left side, so when you press it, it'll push out through the right side, allowing you to remove the magazine. That mag release is, you can reverse it. So you can make this firearm completely right-handed or left-handed, which is very nice. There is a Picatinny rail on the bottom here, so you can put a light or laser or what have you. Another thing that I noticed on this firearm when I racked this, the slide release is actually very easy to use. A lot of new guns that come in, it's very tough to use them, and you actually got to release the pressure on the slide, take the pressure off of the slide so you can, release it using the slide release. So this was actually really easy. The only reason why I put my hand on it is because I don't want it slamming forward, possibly damaging the ejector or something like that, since we don't have no rounds in here. So nice feature. This one here, it's got the 3-dot night sights, which is pretty cool. This is optic ready, so you can remove this plate to put a red dot on here, and you would do that from underneath. You have to pull a screw from underneath to do that, but I'll show you that stuff a little later here when we field strip this gun. So you can see there is a magazine in the firearm already. So this is a 17 round magazine. It also comes with two, let me go ahead and pull one out. It comes with two 21 round magazines as well. So you got a 17 round magazine plus two 21 round extended magazines. Should make for a fun day at the range. All right, so I'm just gonna slide this out of our way here. The grip does have texture completely all the way around it. As you can see, it might be a little hard on the camera. So it's got a nice grip and it feels good in my hand. I do wish the texture on the grip was a little bit more aggressive. It's not bad, but it could be a little bit more aggressive on there, in my opinion. So, all right, let's go ahead and load some snap caps up so we can see what the trigger pull length is, and then we'll see what the reset is. I got 4 snap caps, one for the initial fire, a second one to check the reset position, and then get the second fire off for rapid firing to see what how this gun would respond with rapid firing, and then I would need 2 more rounds for the Wheeler gauge here to see what the weight of the trigger pull is, because I like to do it twice. That way I can get an average between the two. It gives me a little bit better idea of what that trigger pull weight is. So let's go ahead and load some up. I'm going to use a speed loader here. It makes life a little bit easier. So let me go ahead and just load it up. Put the second one in, a third one, and finally a fourth one. All right, so we have 4 snap caps in the magazine here to allow us to do all our tests. So let's go ahead and get one in. So I'll go ahead and rack it. So we've got 1 snap cap in the chamber. Let's see, make sure our safety is off. Up is on, down is off. So up is on, and then down is fire. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hold this firearm close to the camera, so when I'm doing the trigger pull, hopefully you'll be able to hear the click when it releases for the fire. So let me go ahead and get it up here. So right now I just have my finger resting on the trigger, and now I'm going to begin to pull. Here we go. So it has a very, very, very short trigger pull. Not extremely short, but I really like the trigger pull. It's a nice length. It's fairly short. Let's go ahead and get that out. We got a second one in. I still have the trigger pulled, as you can tell. That way, when I re-rack it, that I can slowly release it and see where that reset position is, so we can get that second fire off for rapid fire. So that's why the trigger is still compressed. So now what we're going to do, same thing, I'm going to hold it fairly close, and we're going to slowly release this trigger and see where that position is, and then I'll pull again to get a second fire off. So here we go. All right, so the reset position is not too bad. You know, it's fairly short both ways. The trigger pull itself also did not seem like it had much weight on it. So let's go ahead and see what that weight is. But as far as the length of the pull, the initial pull and the reset for the second fire off for rapid firing, I like it. Fairly short, not too short. The release is, I wish the release was just slightly shorter, but this gun should be very fun for rapid firing at the range. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and eject that. We've got a third snap cap in the chamber now, and I'm gonna turn on our gauge here. This is a Wheeler gauge, and it'll tell us what the weight of the trigger pull is. Like I said, I like to do it twice and take a happy medium between the two, and that average will give me a better idea. Now, one thing that I have learned particular with this gauge, and you know, like I said previously in other videos, that I'm sure they're all different. This particular model, I seem to get a better reading if I am slightly above the midway length of this trigger. So the height of the trigger slightly above the midpoint, I seem to get a better reading that seems to be more accurate. So that's where I'm going to position this. We do have the snap cap in there, so we are set. Let's see what our weight is. So here we go. All right, let's get a second one. So let me go ahead and inject that one. We've got our last snap cap in the chamber here, and let's go ahead and get one more reading so we can get an average. So here we go. So it looks like we've got about between a 4 3/4, about a 4 3/4, not quite 5 pounds. So it's a little heavier than it feels. At least the gauge is. I swear it didn't feel that like it was that heavy when I pulled it. But you know, about 4 1/2, 4 3/4. Not a bad weight on the trigger here. So I think rapid firing on this gun would be very fun. But let's go ahead, remove the magazine. I'm going to show you how to break this firearm down, how to field strip it now. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to rack it back, get our last one out of the chamber, check, fill, make sure we are clear. On the left-hand side, this lever right here will slide around. So we're going to push it all the way around, just like that. You can see how now I have it facing down. And I'm going to hold my hand so this don't come flying off. And we're going to use the slide release, and I'm going to just slide it right off. So you can see inside here, and then you can see your guide rod and spring. Now to get the barrel out, you must remove the guide rod and the spring. So basically you're just going to kind of press it forward and then back, and it comes right out. And then your barrel, now when you pull that out, remember on one side it's the round part on the end, it's bigger than the other end. The smaller circle here, the smaller end, goes towards the front of the barrel. So remember that when you're putting it back together. And to remove that barrel, basically you're just going to pick up on the back, slide it out, kind of like a 45-degree angle. So looks like you can see it in here maybe. So they have lubed this up. You can see the little white spots here. That's lube from the factory. I probably would get my little Q-tip and kind of spread that around a little bit on on the slide bars here, wherever it's touching the frame to the slide, make it slide a little better, stuff like that. Instead of having it globbed up in certain spots. You can see down in here, there's another one. See it right here, that whiteness. I probably would spread that around a little bit between all the moving parts. So Sig did a good job getting this lubed up for you. Sometimes I see them where some firearms come in and they are so dry. And then I see some that are just way over lubed, and you got to wipe them down and take some out. So this is how you field strip it. So now you're able to access everything in here with a brush, get it cleaned up. Same thing here. You can get your barrel cleaned up, and then once you get all done, you can put it back together. So let's go ahead and put it back together. So basically you would take your slide. I have mine facing right towards the front of the barrel, and I have it upside down. And then we're going to take our barrel and we're just going to drop it in just like that, and then slide it back. So it's in place here. Now you can see this little flat area. And remember I said on your guide rod, one end is bigger. That bigger end is going to go up against that part of the barrel right here, that notch. And then the front is going to go inside of this little area here, the hole there. So let's go ahead and make sure the front is the smaller end of that guide rod. Then you're just going to place it in and press it down just like that until she's flat, just like that. So now we can reassemble the slide back to the frame. You can see these little legs here must line up in the grooves. You can see those grooves. So basically it's going to slide. You're going to line them up just like that and push it on back. Now sometimes when you get to the back, you got to look, because you can see it's kind of hidden. So you kind of got to press down a little bit until they slide into place. And now we're going to rack it backwards, put the slide lock in place, and then our little lever here for the breakdown, we're just going to turn it back in place. And then we should be good to go. I'm going to put one snap cap in here so I can dry fire to make sure that she is firing. So here we go. Yes, so we are good there. Let's go ahead and get it out. Oops, came out. All right, so the P320 M17, you may be wondering what the difference is between the M18 and the M17. The M17 is longer. The M18 does not have this extra length here. Basically, it would be about that long, and the M17 is that long. So that's the difference between your M17 and M18. One is longer than the other. So overall, I would give this gun probably a 9. I really like it. Trigger pull seems good. Reset's good. The weight of it's not bad. The slide is easy to operate. The slide release and lock is very easy to operate. Very easy to break this gun down to clean, field strip it to clean. It is ambidextrous. So overall, I would probably give this gun a 9, maybe a 9.5 in my opinion. But overall, great gun. I hope you got some great information out of this video. If you're looking at purchasing one, hopefully You know, that answers some questions for you, how it comes and that kind of stuff. If you did get some good information from this video, please be sure that you subscribe, like, and share the video. That is the biggest thank you we can get. That's what keeps our channel going. I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Eric with Brunswick Firearms and Reviews.